Good morning. Oh, I haven't done a training outside in a while because it's been hot as bollocks here in Florida. Friggin' hot. Okay, my team's messaging me. Good morning, good morning. How are you guys this morning? We have quite the topic this morning. Mother love and guilt. I think this is going to be a quick live. I'm popping on to talk to you guys about guilt. Now, here's the thing. Guilt is really, there's two things. One of the things you're probably going to be aware of that has to do with guilt is, when you love people really big and you really care about showing up good and you also care about being a good person, one of the ways that we adjust to feeling like a good person is by feeling guilt. Actually, by feeling guilt, we're like, oh, see, there's evidence and proof that I'm a good person. That's like what we use as evidence that we're a good person is the sensation of guilt. Guilt is just this never-ending cycle and loop that doesn't end though, right? So here's the deal with it. It's great that you're a really big heart-centered person and you love your people and you want to show up big in the planet and you want to do a good job. But if we want to show up really big for the people we love and we want to do a good job and we want to be a good person and we want to love our people really big, except for we don't feel like we are a good person, intrinsically we kind of worry or struggle or feel like maybe we're not a good person, it's going to feel like absolute torture. It's just going to feel like we never do it good enough. It's never enough. We're never there. We never arrive. There's always the next problem to solve. There's always the next thing that we need to fix. It's always a sense of like, it's over there. I just want to fix all of this. I just want to help everybody. I just want to be better and be stronger and show up more disciplined so that I can support the people and I can create the things that I want to create for them. But really what's going on the inside is we're not feeling like we are worthy, like we're not good enough. On the inside, intrinsically, that's what's happening. So it's not really true in your life that all of these things all need to be fixed by you and you need to do it all and you need to love people better and you need to be more disciplined and you need to show up bigger for everyone in your life and you need to solve all these different problems for people and you need to support them and help them grow and help them expand and help them be happy and they should be enjoying their life and it's your fault if they're not, right? This is a good morning. Oh, I know, us heart-centered. This is a really painful thing for people. It really is. I know. I dealt with guilt for so long and of course it comes back in waves sometimes. But this is what I've begun to understand. What I have now begun to understand and started implementing and getting the rewards and results for on the other side of my life is understanding that guilt has nothing to do with the circumstance. It actually has nothing to do with how you showed up in your life or if you were able to solve something or it's not even really about the fact that you have this Jesus complex, which that's what I've heard it called, which I think is a hysterical name, a Jesus complex. It's not even really about the fact that you have a complex and this ridiculous notion that you're supposed to somehow save everybody and solve everybody's problems and fix everything around you. And you just need to somehow be superwoman and be disciplined enough to save everybody around you and to solve all the problems. That's not even it. It's not the circumstances. It's not even that story that you tell yourself that is causing the feelings of guilt. The feelings of guilt intrinsically is a sensation that you're experiencing because you have a story that you are not enough. Now let me just ask you something, right? In the program that I'm running right now, which prep work dropped yesterday, we begin day one today, is I dropped a powerful, incredible audio that I've used for a couple years now that I've really learned to become an expert at dealing and managing the guilt feelings in my life. That's day one. Day one is how do you actually internally have an experience where you're shifting and turning the guilt. It's so powerful. Even just this one audio is going to change lives. I can't wait to see how the tribe experiences it. It's mandyperry.com/love. If you want to join us, there's going to be 21 days of breaking through and rewiring your mindset for the worthiness inside. Okay, that's what this program's about. It's going to be amazing. It's an experiential program for 21 days to literally experience new things in your body so that you're actually shifting and rewiring the stuff that's going on. Hi, Jamie, I'm so glad you're live. If you're on, say hi to me. If you're on the replay, hashtag I'm here. If you're interested in the program, the doors close soon. So if you have any questions, let me know on it, okay? You don't want to miss this one. So let me break this down for you. When you have a sense of not being worthy on the inside, you'll have fear about the future, relentless fear, right? Because you feel like a gamble. Like I'm a gamble. I can't bank on myself. Look at all the times I promise myself I'll do something and I don't show up and do it. Or I do something, but it's like kind of chaotic and kind of half-assed, and it's not really the best of me. The best of my voice isn't being presented. The best of who I am isn't being done. I'm not being organized and succinct about this. It's not the best of me. Or I can't trust myself to follow through or to show up big. I can't trust myself to go to that next level and sustain it. Right? I'll go for a few weeks, or I'll go for a month or 2 months, and then I crash and burn. I go back to the old thing over and over and over, and the growth is so slow that I feel like a gamble. So of course, if you're feeling internally like a gamble, which again has nothing to do with your actual actions and everything to do with how you believe about yourself, that maybe shit has gone on in your life and people said certain things, and from when you were born until now, you've picked up things all along your life. You've just been picking up the thing, and guess what? We don't remember the nice shit people say to us. We remember the crappy stuff they say to us, the insults, the criticisms. And when your parents were younger, they were just thinking, I feel guilty because I'm not being a good enough parent, so I'm going to criticize you and I'm going to try to make you better so that I don't feel guilty about myself, because they were stuck in the same trap, right? It's the same exact trap. So I need you to understand it has nothing to do with the circumstances, and has everything to do with, if I feel like a gamble, if I don't trust myself, I'm going to feel fear about the future. I don't trust myself, ergo I don't know how to trust people. You can't give something you don't have. If you don't know how to trust you, you don't know how to trust other people either. That's the way it is, right? It's the same thing with guilt, okay? It's easier to see with fear, so I started with that one, but the same thing with guilt. It's an internal belief about yourself that has nothing to do with circumstances around you. If your son is struggling or going through something hard and you're feeling guilty about the kind of mom you are, it has nothing to do with the fact that your son's struggling, going through something hard. Because another mother who truly feels worthy on the inside, there's a sense of worthiness to who she is, she's going to look at that circumstance and be like, this is a hard circumstance because my son is going through something hard and this feels hard. She's not going to feel like I'm not enough to take care of it. Does that make sense? It's an internal job. That's why I created this program, because 21 days is what it takes to begin rewiring neural pathways in your brain, and it requires an experience. An experience. This is why, okay, here's a tip. If you're doing journaling, that's why you'll hear people say, don't just do journaling and check it off the list. If that's what you're gonna do, don't even bother doing the journaling. Well, I don't know if other people say that. I say that anyway. The reason I say that is because journaling is meant to be a feeling. It needs to shift a feeling inside of your body. That's why when you go to immersion events, or you do like meditations, or you do something powerful that shifts you, and you're crying, or you're getting angry and you're releasing those emotions, that's why such profound change happens so rapidly in your life, because it's something that you're feeling and you're experiencing on the inside. So I created a 21-day program that is all experiential. It's about experiencing different feelings on the inside. So the training that I just recorded it for the love group. I just recorded it this morning, and it's all about rewiring that set point of guilt on the inside, because it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. You can try to fix everything on the outside, and you can give yourself mantras, and you can do your journaling, but if you're not shifting experientially on the inside in order to put two different things together, then the guilt is not going to go away. The fear about the future is not going to go away. And by the way, this is true for every other sensation that you feel in your body, right? One of the trainings I did the other day was really about helping people understand that just because there's a sensation in your chest, you feel this feeling, you might label it anxiety. But that doesn't mean that if I had that same sensation, I would label that anxiety, right? I might label that, like if I've struggled with depression in the past and I feel something that feels negative, I might be like, oh, I'm starting to get depressed again. If someone else dealt with anxiety, they might be, oh, I have anxiety, right? But it's not like a one size fits all. And in other cultures, that might be a whole other thing. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people identify with it as excitement and not anxiety, but someone's not familiar with being positive. They focus on the negative, so they're going to identify with it as anxiety. It's just a sensation in your body. People give so much weight. And then what's the next thing they do? Come on, what's the next thing we do? Tell me. So the first thing that we do is we label and we judge the feeling that we have. We blame it on something external, like, okay, now I got to fix all this. And then what do? We spend mother-loving hours analyzing it. Why is it like this? And how do I fix this? And how do I be better? And then what? And then most people spend all their fucking money. I'm going to spend all my money, and I'm going to buy this book, and I'm going to buy this program, and I'm going to buy this resource, and I'm going to buy this oil, and I'm going to buy this crystal, and I'm going to put crystals everywhere, and maybe I'll freaking stop feeling guilty if I have crystals everywhere. I have crystals everywhere because I went through those phases. I'm not saying it's bad to have crystals, and I'm certainly not saying it's bad to use oils. And yes, invest in a program when your soul says hell yes. Like if your soul is saying hell yes for this one, jump your ass in the program. What I'm saying is stop spending all your friggin' money because you think you're broken and you think you're in a state of analyzing, trying to fix everything around you and trying to get rid of the guilt. And that's not going to solve it. You're just going to keep spending all your money. You ever notice people when they make a lot of money, but then they never have money? It's like, oh, it just, no matter how much they make, it just always keeps disappearing. It's because they have a story about themselves. They don't feel worthy. Worthiness on the inside affects every single area of your life. It's why people wonder why I can't be more disciplined. It's why people, they make money, they spend the money. It's why they feel guilt. It's why they're trying to rescue other people. It affects everything. That's why they say self-love is like basically like you came to this planet to learn to love yourself so that you could love other people. I used to hear that. I'm like, yeah, love yourself. You know what I mean? Like blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's me overthinking. You and everybody else on the planet. That's what we do. It's the trap. And then we spend all our money while we're analyzing. That's what we do. We need to stop this shit and we need to nip it in the bud in the source. So what needs to happen is a rewiring in your actual nervous system. It's a recalibrating so that we're not feeling like a gamble. We know who we are and our feet are planted and we can think clearly about, like, so basically when a circumstance happens, we can just deal with the circumstance without internalizing and flipping the switch of guilt and fear and then doing all the messy behaviors that we do that come behind that and then wondering why we're not building the dream life that we want. It holds you back massively and tremendously in your life in every area. Not to mention weight gain and what your skin looks like and everything because of the anxiety, because of the guilt, because of the fear that you have, because of the stress that you're feeling, your relationships, the amount of fun that you have. Jesus, nobody's having any fun anymore. Where's the fun? You know that growing and expanding and becoming the next level version of you is what makes you happy. So if we don't know how to enjoy the process of that, that sucks because that's how you're happy. So if you're not experiencing a lot of joy and happiness and fun in your life, this is why. Do you see what I'm saying? Also, I did another training in the membership area that I have around how important it is to be around people who make you happy. Be around people who are happy so that you feel free to be happy. And when your worth is, this affects your friendships in a massive way. We see it all the time. Like people who are poor hang out with people who are poor. People who are wealthy hang out with people who are wealthy. People who came from a fucked up family hang out with other people who came from a fucked up family. Our patterns find people and our traumas find other people who have gone through similar traumas and we feel similar to them. And then we all just sort of stay the same in our own little stories. And we just stay stuck there in a loop until something comes along. Maybe it's this Facebook Live. Maybe it's the love program that you're going to hop in on. Being crazy. Maybe it's a new friendship that you meet, maybe, but something will come along and start putting friction on these beliefs that we have and start pulling out a string for you. Instead of sitting there analyzing it, which gets you absolutely nowhere, it's like further and further into the mess when you're sitting there analyzing. And I know our culture really condones, like, I'm really analytical. Like, that's not a good thing. What's good is like healing and taking action, clarity and action. Take action, it brings more clarity. That clarity will bring more actions. That's where we want to be. That's what creates massive results in our life and experiences that we absolutely love. It's like you're worthy right now to have those experiences. Nothing on the outside needs to change. This is inner work. So when people talk about doing the journaling and doing the meditation and everything, if you're not truly shifting the worthiness and doing the work so that you feel worthy, I feel worthy to have boundaries with people. I feel worthy to have a struggling or difficult situation or circumstance of somebody that I love in my life and not internalize that or make that about me. I feel worthy to make awesome, incredible amounts of money, to charge my worth in my programs. I feel worthy to have romantic relationships that really make me thrive. I feel worthy to have friendships with people who feel kin and feel like they're going where I'm going and they're happy and they're high vibe and they're contributing and they celebrate me and they celebrate my wins and they celebrate the things that go in my life and I celebrate them and we high five and I feel worthy of having these things in my life. I feel worthy of having a team that shows up and supports me tremendously and I'm not afraid to let someone know, like, I don't like that, I would like this to be this way, and we start speaking up and speaking our truth and speaking our mind. We dare to go big. We dare to dream for things that other people wouldn't even dare. It seems ridiculous to them. We block out the voices of the people who aren't called to this and don't have this level of courage, right? This all stems from worthiness. It is like there's nothing more important that we could do than really come from a grounded place of worthiness. And so for the people that have already broken through this kind of stuff, now it's about what's the massive aligned action that we're taking coming from this place, right? And so the other piece of what I'm going through in this program with you is taking action based on your values. I'm gonna drop this bomb on you. Are you ready for this? Okay, let me put the link in the comments for people. It is mandyperry.com/love, but I'm just gonna drop it in the comments so you guys have it. Unless my team is on and they dropped it for me. I'm not sure if they are on. Okay, so are you ready for this bomb? What I'm going to teach you in this program about aligned action to take is actually the opposite of what you've always been taught when it comes to how you choose what you do that is aligned. And the thing I'm going to teach you is to take aligned action based off of what skills and habits are ones that you value as a human being. And you design your life and your business based off of, I get to have now these, okay, for example, I do Facebook Lives in my business because I want to be a powerful speaker. I write in my business because I want to be a powerful writer. So those are, I didn't want to be someone who, created ads in my business and like, oh, that's me. I'm just, I'm an ads expert. That's not what I wanted. So I didn't create that in my business. My business has been organic. And I'm going to teach you how to break that down once we build the foundation of worthiness. And you can see things correctly. You're not seeing them from the lens of like I'm a gamble, and like that fear and that guilt that's constant, and the time wasted analyzing, and the time, you're not supporting the people around you when you're engaging in rescuing them and you're doing their work for them, or you're criticizing them, you can't criticize someone into showing up well, right? None of that works. We know this. All right, let me drop the link in the comments. I know I had a couple people asking for it. mandyperry.com/love. Okay, so doors close soon. Day one, prep work is already there. The prep work's incredible. The prep work is like how to feel better right now. So if you're feeling the guilt, the tension, the pressure, the fear, whatever it is, it's like how to instantly feel better. And then day one is being dropped today. Day one is literally how to rewire that guilt. You'll never see guilt the same after this audio that I gave you guys. And the reason I did it in audio is so you can listen to it anytime that you need to. You can literally tag it on your phone and you can have it there and available for you anytime you want. Of course, the whole program is in your membership area. And you'll have indefinite access to it. The group is already on fire. It's an incredible group. I hope to see you guys in there. If you have any questions, drop below. Also, let me know what comes up for you around guilt, because this is something that absolutely I feel is my purpose to support people. The fear and the guilt and being able to navigate those and get on the other side of those consistently so that you can be the highest level version of yourself. And do you know the statistics about someone who can break out of like a codependent, unhealthy family that's sort of riddled with the fear and the guilt and the codependency and the rescuing each other and that kind of stuff? Do you know the actual statistics of that? It's just as common for someone to break out of that level of codependent family as it is for someone to be born a genius. 1 in a million. 1 in a million will break out of there. Now, I'm sure that statistic will be changing, is changing, has changed. I don't know if anybody will ever do another test or study on it again. I'm not really sure, because there's people like me who have learned from other people who have broken through this and who are teaching you guys how to do that and how to get on the other side of it. So I'm sure that number is changing, and I definitely feel like that's my purpose here on the planet, to change that number in the world, to help people support break through that so that they can have all the things that they long for and desire without feeling selfish and guilty, right? But it's incredibly rare for people to actually be the one who breaks out of that dynamic in their family and actually thrives and has the lives that they long for without feeling guilty and reverting back to the old behaviors that'll slide them back so that they stay on equal footing and they don't feel like they're leaving people behind, or they don't feel like, I feel guilty because I'm making more money than my dad, or I feel guilty that, I'm thriving while my sister's over there suffering, or I feel guilty when my best friend is going through this divorce and I'm like super lit up and happy in my romance, and all these weird dynamics that happen. We're scaling right through this in those 21 days. I'm going to show you how to hold these in a really powerful way. And the most important part about this work that we're doing in this 21 days it's not the fact that okay, you're going to learn how to thrive. It's actually the fact that, okay, yes, you're going to learn how to thrive. You're going to figure that out anyway. But do you know what? You couldn't show up more powerfully for everybody that you love, for your tribe, for your clients, for your loved ones, for your family, for your children, by being someone who actually broke through this, by being the 1 in a million who actually did the work to get on the other side of this, and then showing an example of what that looks like. Everyone who comes into my life and they see the level that I thrive at and the level of joy and fun and happiness that I have in my life, they are affected by that. And I know that. It's an incredibly powerful way to show up on the planet, and people get to be like, wow, that's possible? Hell yes, that's possible. You become permission for the people around you to have the same. And every time you hold back and you play small and you play the guilty trip and game and you don't let yourself thrive and you don't invest in yourself and you don't take the time that you need to have the experience of life that you want, you're contributing to the experience of life where everybody else is expected to do that. So whatever you choose in your life, what you walk out, you are contributing to the kind of world where that's the expectation of everybody else. So if your expectation for yourself is, I get to have the most amount of fun, the most amount of freedom, overflowing finances, I get to make, my 50K months, I get to travel the world, I get to do what I love, I get to be happy, have epic friendships and have romance and love that I love, and I get to have people supporting me in my life. If that's what your belief system is and that's how you're showing up on the planet, you are now showing up in a way that's contributing to everybody else having permission to do the same. And you can't deny that. It's black and white. If I believe that that's how it's supposed to be for me, that's how I believe it's supposed to be for everyone else. You can't tell someone like, well, I feel guilty charging my worth. But then you're going to tell your child, no, you should charge your worth. Doesn't work like that. You're creating by your beliefs on this planet. And I never understood that until recently when I understood how, because I'm very pragmatic, I'm not really holy realization. Yes, girl, I'm so glad. Sending out the ahas and the realizations and the mind blowns, and I know this is really big stuff. And this is the work that people skip consistently because they get stuck in this, analyzing trap, or they just really feel guilty and fearful. And so some people are even at the place where they're too fearful to even make that first investment, whether it's a program like this or maybe even going to a therapist, whatever it is, right? It's like, oh, I can't take the time or I can't take the resources to do this for myself. Yeah, just recognize, whether it's this program or something else in your life, I want you to recognize if you have a story that's so deep about your, like I'm being selfish if I do for me, I want you to check yourself. What has been on your radar that you're like, I really need support with this, and you've not been giving yourself permission to have. And maybe you bet that you were a gamble. And well, guess what? When you make that investment, whether it's a program like this, or it's hiring someone like me as a one-on-one mentor, or it's going to your first therapy session, or it's hiring the support for your house so that you have a nanny take care of your kids while you have time to build your business, whatever it is for you, I want you to realize something. The past is not evidence of what's possible for you in the future. So don't say, well, up until now I've been behaving this way, so if I invested in this, what are the chances that I'll be different? A lot, because you invested in support. So what you were like before without support is not going to be what you're like when you have support. That's the whole point of investing in support, because life is different with support. We show up differently. We have different experiences. We have different things. We have a program like this. You have a whole tribe of people that's there. We're all going through this together. There's a different vibe and an energy. You're in my energy, and you will calibrate to my energy and my level of worthiness, right? And that's what happens. So whatever that thing is for you moving forward, I want you to catch it if it comes up for you. The whatever things that justifications that we have for not giving ourselves what we need to thrive. And remember that by thriving, you are now you are pulling that closer to all the people that you love, because now it's coming in that arena, it's coming in your home, it's coming in your business, and you're the one who's walking that out. You went first. That's what a leader does. We go first. We are the one in a million. You've been called. It is what it is. Other people haven't. They may follow you, they may not, but at least there's a path for them to follow if they choose to. And if they don't, that's okay. That's their soul's journey. They're grown-ass adults. They get to choose the experience they want to have in life, and that has nothing to do with us. Or their children who have a whole life ahead of them, and their soul's journey is their soul's journey. It's not for us to say. But we can create the path out there with a machete, being the leader, leading the way to thriving and worthiness and expansion and abundance and fun and travel and all the things that we want and desire to have in life. And it does take courage. It takes courage to be that person. But that's okay. You have the courage. And this is the time. No more, well, what are we waiting for anyway, right? No, not waiting anymore. Okay, holy realizations. Yep, I dropped the link for you guys. Okay, if you feel like you got a lot of value from this video, please feel free to share. My intention is to just support people hearing this, because it's just rampant in our culture for people dealing with guilt and being in that codependent sort of story and feeling like they're not enough and they're not there yet, and they're always waiting to be enough, and they're trying to rescue other people, and they're really trapped, and it's painful. I know, because I lived like that for 30 some odd years. It's just so draining. It's exhausting, and it's painful, and you never feel like you're enough. And that is not an external thing. There's nothing you can do on the outside to change that. That has to be rewired on the inside. And you don't need to figure out why. Why did you get to the place where you feel unworthy? This event happened, that event happened. It doesn't matter. If you need validation, that's different. Now it matters. You come into the group and speak your truth and tell us your story, right? But it doesn't matter why in order to change the worthiness on the inside, so that you can release the guilt and the fear and you can show up and be your best version of yourself. You just do the work to do that. Make sense? Yes, yes. Okay, guys, I love you very much. Thank you for those who shared. Let me know if you shared so I can come and thank you. The doors are going to close. I don't know when. I haven't decided. Probably in the next 3 days, the doors will close. So, but you want to track with us for the full 21 days. So I really recommend hopping in there. If you have any questions at all, just let me know. I love you. Have an amazing day. I'll see you guys soon.